Hey guys, Liger Zero JPS here, and here we are. We're looking at the Master Grade Unicorn Gundam Extreme. Yes, this is my third Unicorn Gundam, but hey, why not? Overall, it is the same build as the other two, except with this being the Extreme, there's some major differences here and there. And also, if you remember how I did the other ones, I ended up painting the Psycho Frame. Yeah, we're not doing it with this one. The whole thing with the Extreme is they give you an LED strip that you built the entire Gundam around. Basically, in the head, the body, the shoulders, the arms. Well, not really the shoulders. It's just built into the arms, the body, the waist, and the legs. The shoulders get theirs like via the arms here near the right in here in the upper arms. There's a LED that's aimed up in there. The head has its own two LEDs. The arms have like three. The body has two because there's one for the main body and then there's one that aims in the back for the backpack. The waist has two. The legs has like three or four. I know there's like two down at the bottom and there's like one up the top. And I think there's another one somewhere in the middle in between. I think there's like two at the top, two at the bottom. But yeah. And I think one of the bottom ones also might aim down into the feet or should aim into the feet. I don't know. I haven't put this into destroy mode to test it out and see. Now, if you remember all the clear, like the green parts or red parts, the pink parts they was for the original two, those have been replaced by clear parts in this one. And you might be able to kind of see one like right there on the torso because it's kind of opening up a little bit, even though it should be closed. There we go. But yeah, like if you see right there, those are clear parts. There's two different clear parts. I want to show them to you if I can find two different plates for it. So, what I mean by this is like a normal clear plate. This is normal clear plate, what we're used to seeing master grades. Like, if you have a clear plate, it'd be like this. And if it's painted, yeah, you know the routine with those. This is the other clear plate. It's kind of frosted a little bit. Well, here, let me put these two side by side. Well, hold them up side by side on each other. Yeah, those are the plates. Normal and frosted. And I'm not going to lie though, it has a nice contrast to them though. And the light is strong enough to go through them. You also, if I can find it, you have stickers here. Now, it depends on how you're going to use this. You have options. So you get both different defense colors. You have the yellow one, which is the current one I'm using. The yellow one is from the full armor version, and then you have these gold ones, which is from the normal one or the one you get with the cage. Because I have the cage version, so I didn't use the gold one. The pink stickers here are for the gatling guns. The two green ones you see not there are for the Beam Magnum and the Bazooka. And the rest of these stickers over here, that long one is for number 5, I believe it is. Yes, number 5 is for Unicorns mode. If you could put a sticker up there for the Unicorn visor. 4 and 3 is the cameras, and 1 and 2 are the eyes. Similar how they did with the Barbatos Master Grade. But yeah, those are all the stickers. Also, when building this thing, you're going to use the LED strip. I suggest building the waist first, the main portion, and it's not hard to do. You just gotta make sure you put the two pieces together between the LED strip and build the waist around that. I suggest doing that first and then plug it up and build the base so you can at least plug it in and make sure everything stays connected and working. And then build the body around it. And don't try to force anything because that was a mistake I did with the first one. But yeah, give or take, I am not doing that mistake problem no more. And this is not the first one, this is the second one. So this is the one I took the time to rebuild it, do it right, starting with the waist, and then building the torso, which is a little difficult at the start because you got to build the lower section and the upper portion around it, the cockpit area, or the seating area. Then after that, it's pretty much easy game from there. Just be careful not to break or force the LED strip or damage them. You can do this without it, but I chose to do it with it on. Also, building the legs. These legs are a pain, and the tail. The lower section, not so much. It's this upper section here, because you got to build the gimmick of them sliding down for opening up. That's the real major pain. Also, if you notice how it's like, how come it's not solidly closed or whatever? Like, how come I can see lines? To be fair, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like that, especially in the torso and the shoulders and arms, because when I show it later on, you want to be able to see the the lights kind of shining through. So let's go ahead and get into the articulation and other stuff. The articulation is good, but it is limited. Remember, you have an LED strip in there. You can't see it because you built parts forward and around the LED strip and everything. So yeah, you don't want to mess too much with trying to do crazy articulation. But it is a different build engineering. Unlike the original where it was at the base it was a ball joint and then up top of it was a hinge. It's just a complete ball joint. And how the head transforms in this one it's a lot better. I would try and show you one of the where the LED strips are apart, but I don't want to mess with that. There is one in the face here, but because it's kind of pressed down, it's folded down because the LED strip in the head is attached towards the Gundam's face, not the unicorn's face. But because the LED light is going to shine through the eyes and everything to hit the visor here, that's how that the visor gets its lighting. Also, these parts are all centered, whatever, but the head can rotate 360, but because there's an LED strip, I would not recommend going 360. At most, I would say going 45 degrees to side is the limit. If you can kind of barely see in there, which you probably can't, the neck part is on the clear part. Because the LED, I want to say part of the LED going to flash up through here to make the neck glow. Well, actually, it's a whole clear section. I forgot the clear section because you have to want it to shine through for the entire head. Also, there is Vulcans on his head. The head does have Vulcans right there on the side, so they're molded. It's kind of like how newer master grades do, where they actually do the Vulcans like into the inner frame of the head. That's what they did here. The body is on a ball. It's on a ball joint. No, my mistake. It's not on a ball joint. It's on a peg. It's on a peg, and it has a swivel track on it. And also, the LED strip is actually running through. The LED strip on the body. It starts off and it goes through the entire body like Starting from the back of the neck, it runs down. It comes around to the front. It bends down, comes into the front, goes through the middle of the body. For I want to say it. Oh, it goes behind. It starts at the back of the neck, goes down the back of the spine, the back of the body. Then it folds underneath the cockpit and it comes down in front, and part of it folds behind this white part below the cockpit hatch, and then it folds down into the waist. So you have to swivel from side to side. Like I said, I wouldn't push it too far because LED strip. Now, the arms, the LED strip in the arms. Sorry, this is different because I got a different setup of my desk and everything. So how I'm looking at this and trying to do this right is awkward. It's the best for me. The arms, there's an LED strip that runs from underneath the collar that kind of comes down and it bends around and it rests and goes to the arm. So your arm can slide, like there's enough wiggle room in there that the arms can come forward a bit, and it won't hinge. It won't be It's not affected by the LED strip. Is not affected by that, so that's not a problem. The arms can rotate. I do not recommend going 360 because remember the LED strip is kind of like think of the LED strip is like the skeleton here. So I'm not going to push it going 360 in there. It can go out that far. Shoulders can go up there. So basically with the shoulders going up, that's how far out the arms can go with the shoulders. The elbows are double jointed, but that's all much of a bend you're going to get out of it. And remember, the LED strip is folded up in here and then running through this section and down in here and folded up into here because I'm not sure how well this is going to show up on camera, but if you look at the dead center right there, like down in there, if it looks like a little silver piece or something, that's the LED strip in there, like right in there. There's an LED strip like right in there. But like I say, it doesn't hinder the rotation too much. You can rotate the arms slightly. I don't recommend going too far. Like I said, at most I would recommend 45 degrees. 45 to 60 degrees with these, and that's it. So unlike the normal one where it's like, okay, full 360, and then you can full 360 rotational arms and below the shoulders, and all that. You can't do that here. The hands. Right now you see closed fist. These are kind of like how high grades sort of do, where you get 3 sets of hands. You have the normal closed fist. You get a pair of trigger finger hands. And then you get another pair of hands with white ball joints on them. These are the same kind of hands that you would get like on the Master Grade New Gundam and High New Gundam Verka. Also with the GM Sniper 2 White Dingo version, they get the same kind of hands like these. I believe those are like the only 3 Master Grades I know of or have that has manipulators like these. Also, the gray peg point that usually is on these, you take those off because you're using the white one on these. Mainly, these are, all I can really tell you is that these would most likely be used with the beam sabers more so than anything else. The trigger hands here, the trigger hands are used for all the weapons. And yes, there is a peg inside of them too. The ways that we already talked about how it's connected to here is like a peg and a sliding track. All of the skirt armor is ball jointed all the way around. So this, yeah, there we go. So all of them is ball jointed around, and each of them has a clear piece and like a frosted clear piece inside of them. There is no opening hip joint mechanism in here because of how this is built. And you can see the connector port right there for the XMs. You can cover this up, and if you look down below, there is a slot right here to connect an action base to him. The legs, because they're pegged in up into the hips and into the legs. You can go forward. It's not an issue going forwards or backwards here. You can also go out. You are double jointed. I'm trying to be careful with this because I'm trying not to damage the LED strip, because the LED strip has to go through all the joints and everything, so that's the problem. And the worst part of building this was that up in here, you have to bend. I had to do a mountain fold on this. I had to fold the LED over so it can bend backwards, and then fold it again, and fold it again to bend it going back forward and going down so it can actually go down to the rest. The worst part is getting it to go through all the knee joint area, because you have to send it through. The LED strip is long. It's wide enough so that you can slide it into grooves and slots throughout the inner frame so that it will bend in there. But since you also have to bend it at certain points, and the strip have lines to tell you where to bend, I would recommend doing it, but I also recommend not doing it. I kind of recommend just, if you want to make it easier, bend it at those spots how they should be, let it sit, and then put them in place. Or you can be like me, go the hard route and just not bend it and then force your way to making it work. But like I said, it's wide enough you can actually put the you can put them in there. And this is something new, these little back sections here on the legs, they move up here. These little white sections move because they're not actually attached to here, they're actually sitting behind it. The front ones do not move, or actually all of them do move, but I think the back ones are the ones that move more. On the back of the legs you can see some more of the clear and frosted clear parts. You really can't see the LED, and also because in the middle section, how this is the part that pushes forward, the LED is running through this in a few sections, and it's where it stops at. The feet are on a double peg. You have a peg going up into the leg, and then you have a peg going down into the foot. So you have, oh, that's not good. Oh, that's just loose in there. Oh, the part got, yeah, that's sort of my fault because that part is slightly, it can hold in there but not hold super well, but it's going to hold in there nonetheless. But your foot has the same articulation rotation as well. The only odd thing is right there. You have a clear part, a frosted clear part down in the foot. The problem is there's no way any light is going to shine on this because you don't have no LEDs into the foot. So that's kind of like the most awkward piece down there. But yeah, that's pretty much everything for articulation. So it's posable enough. It can get the job done, but you just got to be really careful about the LED strip. But other than that, it's good. Now, if you choose not to use the LED strip, then there's no, I wouldn't worry about this, and you, I say go ham. You have free pulsability. So, also, because I'm using the opening defend, you do have a solid one to use for a unicorn mode. But let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories. So for accessories, this guy comes with a lot. Yeah, it's quite a bit. Almost on par to a full armor version, but not quite. So let's start off this, the one we already saw. We already got the other two sets of hands. You get a pair of beam sabers. You know, standard beam sabers. Also, just like the MS Cage version, you can store these on the bottom of the cage. There is a slot for them. You have the Beam Magnum, which there is an extra part back here for the grip back here, but it's on, like, the grip is on two different plates. They tell you use this one over another one. There is extra parts left over too. So nothing special about this. I mean, you've seen one big Magnum, you've seen them all. Also, because of this, I think I know the major difference between this one and the other one. You can't really tell, but this one has a hole in it, I think. Actually, no, it's not. No, this one actually, there's a peg in this one, though. The peg hole is deeper on the side I'm showing you than on the other side, but it is still made to fit in the hand. Actually, no, I think that's wrong. I don't know the real major difference why they make you use this one over the other one, but there's a peg in the hand, but you're not supposed to use this one with the, you can't use it with this hand. You're not using the manipulator hand with the Beam Magnum because the slide out peg in there would not work with this. And I don't think there's an alternate version for this one. Next up, we get to the bazooka. Same thing like all the bazookas. You have it extends outwards. You have your handles and everything. And just like the Beam Magnum, this handle is made to use with the trigger hands, so they can be pegged in. Also, you get options with this. This comes with options. Also, I forgot to mention, you do get extra clips for the Beam Magnum. But you get options with this. Right here is the in-use version. So if you're going to use this, so you're going to say, okay, I want to display him with the bazooka in use, you would use this one. How do you know? Right there near the end, right here, there's this piece, these pieces kind of protrude outwards. It's kind of thicker here at the top. But this is used for in the bazooka. So that's in use mode. But then you have another one here which is really more smooth, and this one is to push all the way in for storage. You can use this as storage on the action base. You could use it as storage. I guess you could say, no, wouldn't know about saying using it as storage on the back, but you have options with those. Next up is the 3 shields. You get three shields. No real normal connector because of how they are built. You got your clear parts all through this, right at the connector port and up here. And yes, because how these are, if you look at the side, hold on, I think that lighting, outside lighting is kind of glaring a little bit. Let me see if I can dim it. There we go. Because there's a peg here and then this is mostly clear parts, these will connect on. There's a different connector piece you use to connect this onto the arm. But I think you would use it in destroy mode. You could use this in destroy mode. But you need a connector part to slide over the top. And then you just have to connect it onto the side of the arm by sliding that over. Kind of how like the full armor unicorn does with his shields on the arms. You kind of have to do that. And then we get into the big thing here. I have this set up in one manner because it's just I want to have it ready for display like this. And that is the Gatling guns. You got these connected and all set up ready to go. But I got them attached to this because what I'm planning on doing is having this displayed as a certain look with the shields on them. I mean, you can display these as normal. I just got them on this piece here that holds them together. Give me a second. I'm gonna try to pop this off. Because I'm really glad they gave you an option to do this, I was kind of sad that the full armor version didn't do it, but the full armor version wasn't made to be the final episode version because, well, technically it could look like the final episode version, but it doesn't really. This one is more or less to replicate that final episode version. So that's why you get these extra parts. You can go from episode 1 to like episode, I think 6 or 7 of the original. Okay, it took that off. But yeah, this is an accessory piece for the Gatling guns to attach them on to an action base as like there's one. But you got your Gatling guns all set up. Easy enough build to do these. Also, there's a piece that, like, if you take out this piece down here, you can attach a handle so he can actually hold this. But as it stands right now, I have these set up to be connected on. If I wanted to, they could be connected. Like, I could connect them onto the arm so he can have them and be like, just aim and shoot. But yeah, those are that. And the little piece that's on them right now is mainly so I would just slide them on, like just slide them onto the shield, like so. Well, in unicorn mode you can kind of see them peeking out, but actually I don't think I was supposed to do it in unicorn, like with it collapse like that. Or no, actually I think it's just a shield. This shield is being stubborn. I doesn't want to open up. Actually, I think all my shields are. Oh wait, I'm doing them wrong. That's why. Yeah, normally you're supposed to slide them down and open them. You got to open these out. So yeah, if these are sitting in here, so if they were sitting inside like that, this is how they would look. Which is really, which is how they looked in the like episode only. It's like block, shoot. But yeah, that's pretty much that's the majority of them. But let me go ahead and make room because we still got to bring in the big boy. And it's in I left it as a two-parter because, well, in two pieces, well, two massive pieces because, reasons. And it'd be easier that way. Also, give me a sec. I have to fix the gatling guns. Make sure their stuff is in right. So, I'm going to leave Unicorn there in the background. So, the next thing is you get an action base. It's pretty big. This is bigger than the it's bigger than the one you get with the HD cage version. Oof, words, get out the way. So yeah, this thing is massive. Let me put a little light so you can see this better. This thing is massive. The three arms in the back are for the shields, which we'll see those in action later. The middle section here is for the Gundam itself, which is the connector. Like I said, you can turn this upside down and store the beam sabers. You also have a little opening hatch here, which is the battery compartment and the button to turn this on. From what the manual says, you have four modes. The first mode is Unicorn mode. The second mode is Destroy mode in red. Third mode is Destroy mode in green. Fourth mode is a cycle mode. It will cycle between Destroy mode red and Destroy mode green. And then you get this part here, the cage itself. This is very similar and reminiscent to the one that came off the other one with the cage. It feels pretty much the same as well. And also on the cage you can have six. It's like those two slots there are for your bazooka. Two slots here for the beam magnum. Nothing for the shields though. So you can't store this. And also, because if you look at the base, the legs they have grooves in them. Well, on the side of the cage, near the back here, you can actually put them on a little track. Like so. I'm not pushing this all the way down though. But yeah, you can do just like that, and it's a cage. It's really busy like this. I mean, not gonna lie though, this looks super busy. Depends on how I have them displayed or not. I may have this up here, this cage part up here. I may not. I don't know. Also, the three, you may be able to notice and tell, which you can see wires back here on the, those wires are for them and all connected to the battery pack. These can actually and let me go ahead and wind this back up so I can store this back inside. Technically, I should have wound this up even tighter just to make storage more cleaner, but it's whatever. So now that we've seen that, I think it's time to look at the features of this with the lights. So let's go ahead and get into that. And we can also do the transformation as well. Okay, so I closed the curtain so I can have some, little to the light in here. So like I can remember showing you that little black part right there on the base. That's where we're going to connect the unicorn to. So I could do the transformation on the base, but we'll just, so I'm gonna go ahead and slide him on like so, and he fits really snug in there. He's really snug in there, so it's not gonna go no. And just like other action bases, like you can raise and lower this. This is because like the strip is in there, so you can do this, do that. I'm gonna lay this down. We're gonna leave him raised up a little bit, and we're gonna go ahead and kill any lights coming from outside and do this. So let me flip up the hatch. The power is on. I had to make sure it cycled back because I didn't turn it off. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna hit the button 1, and button 1 instantly just goes unicorn mode. That's it. That's all you get is the head. The light is the head. That's pretty much it. Now every part of the head is like, you know, the cameras, the head, and everything else, even the back. So as you can see, everything lights up on him. So let's say we go ahead and get him into trance. Let's go ahead and also the lights is on a set timer too. If you turn off the power, it will reset back to 0. So let's go ahead and get some lighting, and we're going to start transforming him. We'll transform him into destroy mode. So first things first. This comes off, and it's kind of a pain. Actually, I'm going to take him off and do this, but it's fine. If it doesn't want to come off, I won't force it to. So we're going to do the body first. We're going to pop out the body like normal. And make sure you grab something to head is wobbling. That's I'm not. That's his head should not wobble. Before I continue, let me check one thing, because okay, so everything's fine. I don't know why his head is wobbling. I'm not sure, but it's whatever. I want to get his backpack off, but there it is. This thing is in there too tight. I'm not lying. That thing is in there way too tight. So everything's still fine. So we did the body. Well, most of it. And like that. You kind of want to wiggle this out, and then okay, come on. Well, I didn't mean to pop that off, but and I'm not trying to pop off his body, but we're trying to. And I think me doing that, yeah. So we fixed, that's the entire body, and we drop these down. So the body transforms like normal, where you pull these out, drop these down, lift up the body, and relock it down. Actually, I don't even think you have to do that. I think you just kind of have to pull. Try to be careful where you pull though. We're going to do the head next. Pop off the sides. Also, I'm going to admit, I do like how this head is done. It's actually really ingenious. Also, there's another reason why they did this in clear. And it's called Psycho Frame Down from episode 3. It's episode 4 when he was on Earth. Fighting that mobile armor. Well, before he fought the mobile armor, his Psycho Frame, he was in destroyed mode, but it was the Psycho Frame was deactivated. This is to replicate that. Even though that one was gray, we're not doing gray. So there's the head. Like I said, the head has the LEDs attached, and normally it's laying in here flush, whereas on the other one it was, I forget how the other one was, because oh no, this one was always straight up, and it was just, you have to slide this forward, and you have to use the turn the unicorn's mask down underneath, folded behind it, which was always a pain in the shell. But luckily this one is done differently. I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell or see it. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see that. You see that little black right there? There's your LED strip. But luckily for me, there's a hole in the back of the neck, so no big dish. You can kind of see the clear parts. You can kind of see all these clear parts here on the head and everything. Clear part for the visor and everything. So what you want to do is pull out the face as much as possible. And the unicorns, you want to tuck it in. You want to, it's on a, the unicorn's face is on a hinge and everything, so you push it back in. You want to do is push it back and up, so it lays, like, you want to have it laying flat on top. Then you want to push the head back down and on top, so it looks mostly like so. Mainly you want to try to make sure that the face, how, you know how most Gundam heads look, where the how the forehead or whatever is covering downwards, you want to do that. And then we reattach the sides of the face. Like so. There we go. And we open up the V fin. Like I said, I put the yellow one on because I think the yellow one looks better. Okay. So far so good. Nothing too weird. I'm referring to the manual for this just for the brief moment, just to remember what I'm supposed to do for the arms, because the arms are built differently. So what we're going to do is take these parts here, these white parts in here, we're going to take them and rotate them down, and when we do so, they fold out like so, and this raises up the arms. And then we can also, it's supposed to slide out something else. Either something that's supposed to slide outwards. So I'm going to do this again. I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to. I know something is supposed to slide outwards. I just don't remember, because that's not enough cycle frame showing, and there's supposed to be more. Okay, I see what it is. This is the bottom. I had to. The problem is I'm trying to get the, okay, well, that works without breaking this. And you can see how this, what I mean about the arm. You won't be able to really see no LED. Oh, actually no. Kind of in there. You can kind of see the LED in there. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's an LED like right above my finger, over there to the right. There's an LED in there. So I'm re-looking at the manual. There's a it's a sliding track. It's a sliding track in here. Also, these parts up here do not, the little small parts here don't move because they are just hinged and they just slide in place. It is well, I won't. Whoops. And I didn't mean to pop that off. Yeah, I haven't done much of this, and I just put it back into. Get out of that. And now I'm really fighting with this thing. Hold on, let me see about trying to fix this. I don't want to spend all the time on this. Okay, I did fix it. It's not much, but that's how it's supposed to look. It's just the sliding out part is very subtle. Like, let me see if I flip this back and I flip this out, so it's really hard to notice it, or so. Let me see. So I flip that up and it's a subtle click. There we go. It barely clicks open. And trying to readjust this part here to make it look right is even worse. Like, I'm only going by what the instructions is telling me, and that's all I can really go by. And that should be it. And now that popped off. And I just had you right, too. It's painful, and that's really stressing out my fingers a little bit. Yeah, because oh wait, flip. Oh, the part flips. Oh, that's the part that's doing that. I pulled from the wrong spot. Okay. Okay. One of them looks better than the other side, but I know that's what I'm supposed to do. So note to self, You flip this part down and then pull it out. That's what you're supposed to do. And then this part rotates over it. Supposed to. Oh, I see. The manual isn't too clear cut. It kind of explains it, but not clear cut, dry about it. The arms, straightforward. Pull them down, and pull this out. So we'll do it again. Pull the arm down and pull this out. The waist. Oh, okay. The back skirts are easy because you just open them up. I also forgot to mention that they are pegged into the middle section here too, because that's how they get their LED feed light, is by being connected into there. Side skirts, you just slide them down as normal. More frosted clear parts in there. These are so easy. You just slide these. Like there's no hinge or whatever. They just slide. It's a lot easier from what the original one was. These get, the ball joint is, their connector point is to a ball joint, which is clear. Same thing with the side skirts, which is why they get theirs, I think even the back skirts one is too. Okay, so the back skirt one is on the clear piece here, but it's because that little peg to the side connected into the back section. That's where it gets its LED. No, actually, no, that's wrong. That clear section is just to lock it in place, because every one of them is connected to a clear ball joint on a clear piece, so the light is going to reflect into them. And everybody knows about this. We pop this down and pop up. We're halfway done. Normally you would take every section off and do this, but we can't do that with this. So the legs, we know what we're doing here. But the other section, open, extend, and lock. Also, if you do this, this is the one section, the one time you'll realize that these legs are loose. So you're extending them out, give them some extra height. We're also going to extend his lower legs as well. Manual, you're not too clear cut about that. You know that? You know that, right, Manual? Actually, I'm going to take off this foot. Because this is all you're really doing with this. And also, these things are not connected no more, so, and this is not different, so the white parts here are separate ball joints, same with the ones up here. So you're just angling them downwards to look like so. Actually, make sure those smaller ones are up more, but this is what your feet is going to look like. Pop this down and this. Lift this up. I think there's a different way I'm supposed to pull this out, because this is like the only one of the major differences in the legs. Oh wait, I don't think I was supposed to touch the... Okay, we open these up and pull. Oh, sweet. Just open and pull it out. And pull down the thrusters on the legs, so that's okay. Yeah, there's no way that clear part in the leg is going to... Yeah, I'm sorry, but to those who think this was going to get any light, it's not. I'm just looking at how this is, and yeah, it's not going to get no light down there. Not unless they had redid the ankles and clear, which they did not. So there's no way the ankles is going to get, like the feet could get the clear treatment that they was supposed to get. Or probably some people would have desired. I kind of screwing up here, but whatever. I should have switched this part with the other one, but actually, gluing this would have been better. So let me go ahead and do the other leg while I'm waiting, like before I put this back. This is so much easier to pull out and set up than the other one. Also, I should mention this is slightly reversed engineered master grade build, because it's, while the parts and a lot of the parts are the same and the look is the same from the other ones, the execution of this is different. So oh, come on, where's the peg? Oh, crap. We're almost done. Let me try to put this back in here. Okay. Now I've got to put this that makes up his ankle back in place. Oh crap, the ankle armor it's not in place held. Oh boy, give me a second. We're almost there. Okay, there we go. He's a big boy. Oh, trying to do the one last thing. And make sure these are down. The backpack. So you know how this goes. Flip these up, rotate them out and around. And there's holes. These holes goes all the way through on the beam sabers. Flip them out, and all that clear pieces, the clear you can see inside. On my other two, I painted these. But this one, there's no need to. And pop this back in and down. I'm so tempted just to grab the other one from the one that stays in unicorn mode and just put that on you so you can actually hold. You know what? I think that's what we're going to end up doing once I put him on the... Actually, we can go ahead and put you up here now. And luckily for me, I had raised this up just enough anyway, so... Oh, we didn't lock it in place. This is either I'm gonna have to glue. I think I'm gonna have to just glue you in place because I might just have to super glue you in. Alright, we're good, finally. That's a pain in the tail. So let's go ahead and kill the lights and see this thing with the LEDs. So, let me see. Is it still on? Nope, it's not. So we turned it on. And I haven't seen this done yet myself, so. The first lighting is going to be destroyed, will be the steel unicorn, but that's what the face looks like. Pretty, I said that looks pretty cool. I hit the button again, now you see the eyes, but not those. That chin one was the last one, but it did kick on. And there you go, full destroy mode. If I'm not mistaken, I do want to mention that, like on the side, there's an LED that shoots out. And I'm just going to do this for test purposes. Oh, nuts. And I want to see if this would work. Actually, Yeah. No, actually, I'm trying to see because it's kind of hard to tell because the LED looks like it is shining through, but it doesn't. Like, I would assume that if I did try to connect this shield to it, if it went in there, it would be fine. It looks like it's working. I would say it is. I'm just going to go from the limit and say it is working. And you can see how the back looks. Actually, actually, I can rotate him on his base. So there is the backside. So you can see that the lights shine through everywhere. In some areas, it looks better than others. There's the leg. But yeah, that's destroy mode. Now let's switch the color over to green mode. Ooh, that was bright. And there it is in green. Bright as fuck. Yes, and those lights in the back they only break with green mode because it's to replicate from the anime with the shields and everything. He is bright. He's a bright boy. And the green in the back. And down legs. So you've seen the red mode and the green mode. There's one more button press. And this is cycle mode. I'm not going to say much. I'm just going to let this play out for itself. It takes a while for it to play out. So, since you've seen the entire thing, actually I'll just hold this back a little bit so you can see it. This takes, I think, 30 seconds or so. And there it goes. This is cycle mode. It will go from red to green, and I think it might go back as well. And if you're wondering, does the cockpit gets affected? Actually, it does. The cockpit does get affected by it because it's green. It's really bright green in there because pretty much the entire torso inner frame section is mostly clear parts. And that's all it is. It goes from red to green. Oh, and then it does unicorn mode. Oh, there it goes. It goes back again. I'm not gonna lie, I do like both looks. But I think because I might have this display, I might end up doing green for the majority of this. Also, I forgot to mention there is one more thing they give you. You have two options for the cockpit, the view. Let me hit this button again. And let me get my flashlight out of my phone and show you what I mean. So inside the cockpit, kind of hard to see it, but there's two options you have. You have unicorn mode cockpit or destroy mode. It's really hard to tell in there because it's in the way and everything. But there's two options they give you. It's really hard to see it in there, but I'm going to show you in the manual because the body is the first thing you build. Here it is. It's right here on the first section. You have two options with this section. This top one here with B4 is for unicorn mode with the section up. B3 is for downwards, and this is like a totally different piece. This is for destroy mode. I chose B3 because I wanted to use it in destroy mode. So, since it's off, there's only one thing left to do. I'm actually going to move these to the side here because I just want the focus to be on these. So, you notice these are for, these arms are for the shields. And with that said, now normally you can just say, okay, I'm just going to use one for the sake of this. Oh, I got to find out which cycle it was on. Okay, destroy mode, red. Okay, here we go, destroy mode, green. Ooh, that might be bright. And I don't have my glasses on either to block out some of that glare. But this is what it looks like. You plug it in and you basically have this kind of an effect. And you can also angle these arms around however you want. But there's more you can do with this. And I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. Also, try to keep the cords locked into their little slots here, so it helps make them more balanced, because if they're not, you're going to have a bad day. These things are going to be all centered, wobbling, and everything. This one is the other one. Okay. There we go. Like I showed you, you could take these and connect them together at their base. And you do so as such, like this. But you can still turn, you can still turn them on their arms or whatever. So what's the purpose of this? Is to use them with how I showed those gatling guns earlier. Which I gotta figure out how to do that. So basically, it's to replicate this. An entire page worth for that. So let's go ahead and do that. So like I said, we're going to test this out. We'll set this up with this. So you can turn these because they're all on the base. So we're going to figure out which is I don't need this, so we're going to turn this. So basically we're turning these. So one is like this. And these two can turn and be like so. So they're going to look something like this. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about that one yet. So we're going to take this part and this part, and we're going to use them with the Gatling guns. So I'm going to set those back and bring in the Gatling gun trio again. In fact, we're also going to need the shields as well. The shields we're going to extend. We have to open them up and extend them, so I'm going to go ahead and get those ready right now. Well, technically, they're not going to be fully extended. They're going to be opened up, and then their destroy mode version, but we're going to kind of close off one section. So first things first, let's make some room. Taking this part here, and we're going to take the Gatling guns and plug them into each section like so. The flat part has to be facing away because it's going to be on the opposite side. And also the clips is going to be there too. So okay. So once you do that, don't worry if it's not going to like fully stay in there, because it's not really going to. We're going to close this up. So basically, just make sure everything lines up, and you close it up like so. If you want to open it, you turn it around, and basically 1, 2, and 3, you push on those a little bit. I would say push on them, but also with your finger in between the two pieces, sandwiching these together, and basically use those to push it open. Here comes the fun part. I'm going to set this aside for now. I'm going to take the shield. So normally you would just have it like so. Well, we're taking one half of it and closing it back in and still leaving the other half out. And you're doing this for all three. And you're going to slide these in on the shields. And basically, if you saw what I did with the shields earlier, these little coats here, that's where we're sliding the shields onto. And just gonna slide these in. Yeah, you really can't see where you're sliding them into, so and I'm trying to do this on camera, so I'll try to do one on camera and then I'll do the rest off camera or so. So basically, I can see it there, but I'm trying to line it up. Okay, there. I did one. Now let me go ahead and do the other two off camera. So much easier. Actually, I'll try to do this last one on camera. And I actually really had put on my glasses for this, but it's whatever. So this is basically the hold on, let me make sure everything's right. So this is the effect you're making. Now the fun part is you have to line this up So there's two options you have with this. Option one, well, one option I can't use. So if you was connecting this to an action base, like if you was connected to an action base like the one I have, I think I have, oh, like the one I use on my Freedom, my Strike Freedom Master, I put that one because I use, oh, like the one I use on the Unicorn. If you take one of those and take the connector, take a connector peg, no, actually no, that's wrong. Well, actually, I don't know which action-based ones. No, action-based ones are the ones I have. Strike Freedom came with an action-based one. Justice Gundam came with an action-based 4, I think, or an action-based 1. They say action-based 4. I don't know which one, which action-based is which. Maybe one of you guys can tell me down there in the comments. But we're going to take this and connect these into the holes up here. Yep. So basically, we now just created the same effect. So I turned this back on. So I'm going to close the curtain, and we're going to get this set up for that look, because this is basically the last thing I have to show anyways. So we're in unicorn mode. We're into destroy mode. And let me go ahead and yeah, you can see them together. And now, boom, you have the effect. Also, I didn't do this, I didn't show it off. Actually, this is probably how I'll have this one displayed like this, because I don't know, it looks too gnarly not to. So I didn't show off how mounting things in his hands was. Well, since we don't need to do that no more, we're good. But yeah, it's pretty wicked. Actually, let me just do this properly before the lights cut off. I mean, that's pretty cool that it does that. I don't know if the lights don't get the full benefit. Well, the LEDs are, these lights are getting their full effect in there. It's just the center is not going to hit. I don't know. I feel like it doesn't hit as hard though, like this, but it works. And if you want to display them without it like that, you can. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So one thing to show is how these weapons mount into the hands. And I'm not even going to turn them off now. He's going to stay like this. So we're going to go ahead and get the beam magnum and his. So like I said, these are manipulator hands. So what I'm going to, what you want to do is pop these off. I find it easier to try and pop them off from the back section, like right there. And just like you do with most like high grades or whatever, you're going to take it and sandwich it in there. And once you sandwich it in there, it's stiff. It ain't going nowhere. And then you just pop it in here. Also, the the leg goes through the wrist as well. So, and you can also do this with the Bazooka. This, you can do the same thing with the bazooka. Just take the hand off, pop this on. And you can do like that. And however you want to use the bazooka, you can. The brake parts with wrist are not going to come out because they actually are locked into place on the they're locked in place. So yeah, you can do however. Well, I know some of you may not be recommended doing that, but it still works. Just because it doesn't have the the bendable wrist in there or whatever, you just got to make it work. But you can have them displayed as such. So yeah, that's basically. So that's pretty much everything you can have with the unicorn. And if you're wondering about extra parts, but I get all these extra parts. Don't worry, you get the little storage container. The storage container is there. They thought about it. So yeah, this is the Unicorn Gundam Extreme. I like it. Totally worth it. The price tag on it is a bit. This costs more than most other master grades. In fact, I think out of all the master grades I have purchased over the last how long have I been doing this? The last 7 years, I think. Last 6, 7 years, 8 years. Well, actually, no. I think over the last couple of years, 4 or 5 years, I think this is the most expensive one. This one clocks in at this one price tag is over $200. I mean, the normal price of Unicorn itself is on average somewhere about $70, $80. Okay, that's just saying the Gundam, the Magnum, the Bazooka, we'll just say 2.0 style hands, and the shield. That's it. That's like 80 some dollars because he's also kind of tall. The cage version was 100 and something. About the cage version ran me, I think, close to $110, $112, and that was just including the cage, which is way smaller than this, the base and everything. Full armor Unicorn ran roughly about 140. I could be wrong about the price though, but I want to say I'm not, because both unicorns was open. No, I take that back. Normal unicorn itself is like $60 something, $60, $70. The cage version is like $80 to $90. Full armor unicorn is like $120. This is over $200. $200. And you're getting basically what is a cross between the full armor and the normal with just something they took from a perfect grade and tossed into it. So this is almost perfect grade price. And actually, this is lower end perfect grade price, really. Because the perfect grades, I have the 00 Riser and the Strike Freedom. They're like $220 to $250-ish in the price range. The cheapest one is, I think, the Sky Grasper, and that's like $150 to $190-ish, somewhere in that price range. The fact that this is on like a cheaper end perfect grade, yeah, that speaks for itself. Not even New Gundam Verka, High New Verka, Sazabi, comes up with this. I don't even think the Excess Gundam was that expensive. The Excess Gundam S Gundam, that wasn't even that expensive. So this one takes the cake as the most expensive master grade I have purchased. And I have no regrets about it. So that was all for now. I'm Liger Zero JPS. I will catch you guys next time if I find another master grade that crosses my path and catches my attention as something worth getting. So till then, laters. The glow. Witness the glow. It glows. Somebody you do not want to catch on a bad day.